All right, so I'm just a stupid dog, and oh no, here we go again. The man's in an uproar. The man's all pissy. He's all freaked out. The man is all. This is a dog wars take, and we're trying to get away from the dog wars. I'm a stupid dog. We're trying to get away from the dog wars because the man is trying to turn over a new leaf. He wants to become more Christian, more gentle, more merciful. He says, I want to be one of them kind of guys that, looks out for their neighbor, does things that please God Almighty. He's always looking to try to, not be a drunkard, not be uproarious, not be so violent. I was like, the man, we weren't doing the dog wars for years and years and years on end. Now all of a sudden, the dog wars seems to seep back into our lives every other month or so. We have to quit the dog wars, the man. The man's like, every time I try to quit the dog wars, they pull me back in. So what happened was, somebody pissed the man off really horrifyingly bad, but guess what? It was somebody the man knew, so now he's out for vengeance. Turns out if a stranger should come up and slap the man upside his head. One time the man was having at a pizzeria in western Kentucky, and he got in this beef with this big curly-headed son of a bitch named Russell. Russell, like Russell. God, he looked like he could be I don't know what, like a biker or a MMA fighter. The man was like, so he's like, I'm going to get in this beef with Russell. The man was a little younger back in them days. He steps outside onto the wooden porch of this pizzeria with this guy Russell. He stepped out first. Turns out Russell blasts him right in the back of his head, cold cocks him, runs up on him, beats his head in the pavement a little bit, slams his head 2 or 3 times in the pavement like he's trying to, I don't know what, like spike a football, and then he kicks him in the duodenum or his abdomen. He kicks him in the kidney a few times. The man's vomiting and rolling around in a puddle of his own blood and pus. Turns out the man the next day was like, Russell, you cock smoker. And he was hanging out with Russell. It was okay. But if you should know the man, and you are friends with the man, and you do any little thing that kind of pisses him off, all of a sudden he's hell-bent on revenge. Do not cross the man. If you're friends with the man, do not cross him. He holds a grudge against those of his friends that were to cross him. If somebody screws him over, that's one of his friends. He holds his friends to a much different accountability. His friends are, the man always resents his friends more than strangers. Well, it turns out, this guy, I don't know what he did to the man, but the man was like, I'm going to cut this motherfucker. I don't even want to get into it. All I'm saying is that the man was like, he was so mad at this guy because this guy and him were friends, longtime friends. Turned out, what happened was, he went over their house. They kept asking him to come over. He kept on saying, God bless, I don't have time to come over. They're like 2 or 3 doors up on this posh, beautiful, elitist street. They have a manor house. But their manor house, they have a lot more money in their lives. They're a lot more successful. The man is an oxygen deprivation brain injury survivor who's an idiot savant veterinarian who makes a pittance. He doesn't even make anything on his veterinary endeavors. He saves a few things. He saved a rabbit once. He saved a squirrel one time. Little tiny instrument operations. He loves working on the animals and working with the animals. He saved a wounded duck. He saved a gimpy squirrel. But anyways, he makes most of his money actually on pornographic graphic novels sold to 19 and older, or on illicit illegal fireworks sold to 13 and under. I'm like, the man, what happens to the 14-year-olds to the 17-year-olds? He's like, I'm not in the business of that. I'm in the business of the 13 and under with the fireworks, the 19 and above for the pornographic graphic novels. Anyways, so he doesn't make that much money. He went over to this people's house. They didn't extend him that much courtesy, and the man invested a lot of money. The man, it turned out he brought some high-dollar Dubois, heavenly chocolate, this, that, or the other thing. It cost him $56 to have like 8 of these chocolates flown in from North Carolina from this handcrafted chocolate, whatever it is, business. I don't even know. So maybe a woman in her kitchen. Anyways, they put some ice packs in there. They send you 8 of these things. He ate a couple of them himself. He brought 4 of them over to the manor house down the street, plus some strawberries, hand-picked strawberries from his own garden. And then they didn't even treat him well. They didn't even give him nothing. They gave him nothing. They had a big pot of soup beans on the kettle, on the, whatever you say, the stove, a kettle of soup beans. They didn't even offer him a soup bean, not one soup bean. They didn't offer him nothing. They have all this homegrown, sticky, tacky weed. The man's like, maybe I'll catch a buzz, if I go over there. I was like, the man, you don't even smoke weed. He's like, you know what, whatever. Maybe they have some nice bourbon. He would have brought his own bourbon. Turns out they were just looking at their watches like, when the fuck's this cock smoker getting out of here? We hate this son of a bitch. The man came out of there. He's like a wounded soldier. He's like, oh, my God, I can't believe they invited me 10 times. That's the thing about Kentucky sometimes. Kentucky, you never know what they're really thinking because they're always going to be nice. They have to be nice. They have to be Kentucky nice. Kentucky nice is this thing where like, hey, I love you so much. Come over. When are you coming over? I got to see you. You got to come over. Then when you come over, like, holy fuck, why'd this son of a bitch come over here? I want to stick a shiv in this cocksmoker's abdomen. I want to get rid of this cocksmoker. Where'd this cocksmoker crawl out of? What woodwork did this, what wood pile did this cocksmoker crawl out of? You're like, you invited me 15 times. You made it feel like you couldn't get by it unless I came over. I came over with these high-dollar, expensive, handcrafted Dubois chocolates from North Carolina and a bunch of hand-picked strawberries from my very own garden. You give me nothing. You couldn't even give me your time. You couldn't even give me a nice social thing. People from Kentucky sometimes can be ruthless, can be so horrifyingly. People from Kentucky sometimes can be more unmerciful than some fucking drug dealer from the depths of the Bronx in New York City. Just think about it for a minute. I said it. I'm a young, stupid dog. Sometimes people from fucking Kentucky can be more ruthless, heartless, and inhospitable than some fucking two-bitch, skanky motherfucking pimp from deep in the heart of the Bronx in New York City. Some ghetto in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, it's a small marble. We're all one thing. We're so connected. We're six steps ahead. There's 6 steps connected. We're only 6 connections from everybody knowing everybody else. I believe it because cruelty knows no borders. Cruelty and inhospitability knows no whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying the man came home. He's like, I'm going to hook up a battery, and I'm going to get some jumper cables. I'm going to pin them right on that guy's nipples. And as soon as I slap him upside of his head, I'm going to say, what do you think now, you son of a bitch? And I'm going to buzz them. I'm going to hook them battery cables. I'll have the red cable hooked up to one nipple, the black cable hooked up to another cable. I'll have the black cable on the battery terminal, and then when I touch the red cable, the end of the red thing to the other thing, the red, whatever. This guy's going to jump and yip and bounce around like he's getting electroshock therapy. And I'm going to, hopefully, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm either going to give him a lobotomy, I'm going to sew his mouth shut, or I'm going to stick something up his ass. I don't know. I've got this battery, this old rusty battery. I was thinking about sticking right in his ass, and then slap him around, say, go take a shit, you cocksmoker. I don't know. Believe me. I'm your stupid dog. We're not supposed to be doing this. The man promised he was turning over a new leaf. The man said he wants to get baptized. The Jehovah's Witnesses are coming over more and more regularly. The man's acting like he's trying to give up the dog wars, but yet his friends, and that's the thing. The man's like, I could take it from strangers. I could take an ass whipping, you could smash me down into a mud hole and walk me dry if I don't know you. But if I know you, why would you do that to me? You know me. Why would you, the man, he holds a grudge. He gets very upset when the people he knows, at least in his own mind, screw him over. But I don't know. I'm a stupid dog. Just don't worry about it. What I'm saying is that at some point, I'm like, the dog wars have to come to an end so we can move on from this. We have to get baptized. We have to be, We have to try to walk through the pearly gates with our heads held high. You have to give up all these horrifyingly, whatever you say, these vengeances and these motifs of violence, and start trying to get straightened out, as they say. I'm just the Eric Stupid Dog. I don't even know. Don't worry about it.